for the unpreparable. Alright, our SRL room says we're about to get going, so we should see the runners in action, and away we go! Pick up a money bag in for a couple of the runners. And this is fun. I'm already getting lag on the restream. So, that froze. Alright, there we go. Appreciate your patience tonight as we do this on limited resources. I got jumped in here on short notice just to try and get something on the air for us. Classic Mario, so avoid your usual hitting the enemies unless you're trying to kill them. And still don't see where anyone has obtained either the carrot or fire flower power-up. Do have a star on Oh Dear versus normal Mario games where it would last for a duration of time, and Super Mario Land 2 lasts for a duration of enemies, so be very selective in how you use it to get full advantage. Beast has picked up a water level to deal with. The fun of water physics. Nothing is like you're used to. You just want to go fast. And it doesn't always cooperate. Several of our runners now dealing with the water. And apologize, but I am having some difficulty on our restream feed, but looks like we're getting better on that front. So this will be a double feature of these racers. After they finish this one up, they'll do another. As Beast finishes up a level. Now, part of what's randomized can be the exits of these levels. So, in a level with a secret exit and a normal exit, those exits can be switched. And Beast has picked up the carrot power-up, so now he's going to have limited flight capabilities. Very similar to the raccoon tail of Super Mario Bros. 3, aside from P-Speed. Making good advantage of that to avoid the spikes. And now he's got the fire flower. The preferred power-up for dealing with bosses, so Beast in good shape for that. This is the most killing of enemies since that jumping over them we've seen yet. Looks like nobody else has managed to get one of the big power-ups yet. Although Oh Dear now seems to be in position. It got the Super Mario Mushroom. Well, Wolflink, we never know how randomizers are going to treat a runner. That's part of the excitement. Beast gets to the end there with his carrot intact. Hey, the way you should treat anything in randomizers is if it can happen, it will happen. At least at some point. And now a fire flower for Malkin. And the carrot power up for Oh Dear. It's a good time to mention some of the things that can be randomized. I already talked about the exits being randomized. Enemies are only swapped within levels, so you're only going to see the enemies in a level you are used to seeing, but they're not going to necessarily be in the positions that you're used to seeing them. Now both of our top runners with the Fire Flower, Oh Dear with the Carrot power-up, and Mike Rome just showing how to do it with nothing. Unfortunately, he shows off how to fall into the spikes, so he'll get to do it again. Looks like Beast's on a very good pace of clipping through these levels. Malcolm gets another one completed. And Oh Dear making very good use of the Carrot power-up to avoid the spikes. A lot going on when you have 4 runners going against each other. And looks like Beast has started over. Or gone back to the selection. Looks like... Well, he's restarted. He's gone to a different level is what he's done. I'm sorry. We'll be alright eventually. Steep learning curve to adjust to. Oh, friendly neighborhood boo. Classic boos, they'll move when you're not watching. Looks like we've got space physics down here for Mike Rome. Anytime you change the physics, you can sure throw a runner off. Regardless of game, regardless of setting, you throw those different physics in from how you're used to running a level, and then everything is different. And anytime you are dealing with the space physics, there is no running. So you've got the floating jumps, but you do not have the ability to run. Which has to be a double frustration as a speed runner because you can't run fast. Malcolm doing a good job there to avoid the hit and keep his Fire Flower. You never want to lose a perfectly good power-up, that just means more work for later. Paragoombas trying to make their presence as annoying as possible, but Oh Dear able to get past them easy enough. Oh, the art of good speedrunning, when you make things look easy. My apologies if I'm off slightly on my terminology tonight. I got asked to do this a few minutes ago, and I've never had the occasion to work with somebody on a call for Super Mario Land. We'll look to work on that in the future. But your indulgence is appreciated. As Oh Dear gets to do battle with the penguin, uses the carrot well, and he is past that one. And he gets a coin. Looks like in sync with what Beast getting another coin. So 2 of our runners so far are able to pick up a coin. Because of the route divergences. Don't know necessarily which will pay off the best until you get to the end and see who's standing there first. And Oh Dear, just taking a casual little trip through this level, you know, avoiding all these really tough enemies. And gets to the goal. Dealing with the space zone, but not necessarily the physics. This gets to swim through. You go for a nice swim with the bullet bills. And some happy little sharks. Beast working on getting through that limited gap. Crouching, one of the most powerful techniques Mario has in some situations. A good crouch jump can make all the difference. If you're ever so inclined to see that on high display, I recommend the Super Mario Maker Levels of Subito, who comes up with as many different ways to make Mario crouch jump as possible. But in plenty of the vanilla games, it makes all the difference when a clip can get you through a tough situation, give you a skip, save you time. Mike having to perform the careful balancing act. When there's no ground beneath you, it's always a little bit of a different challenge. Be as patient as you can with one of the smallest margins of errors. Oh, and a death to the shark for oh dear. As Malkin's going to do battle with the penguin, no power-up for him. We saw it be very easy with the carrot power-up and the flight. Now, different animal when you have to jump on somebody's head and you can't float above them. Also, Mike Rome doing battle with the penguin. But he does have the carrot, and that pays off for him. He was slightly behind getting there, it looked like, but was able to make up the time because he was able to do the battle faster. A very tight swim here for Oh Dear, trying to get through the gauntlet on a vertical climb through the water. And those happy bullets, just happy to wreck your day if they can. And Mike Rome, you know, just showing us his impressive platforming skills as he works through this difficult gauntlet of enemies with precision accuracy. And you do what you have to. Malkin doing the same. Beast trying to pick up a power-up, and he's got a fire flower, looks like. Thankfully, the claw machine's not as rigged as Mario as they are in real life. And Mario's showing us what a lot of 80s cartoons did. All you need to survive in space is stick a fishbowl on your head. Taking his time, that's what you gotta do to work through a gauntlet of enemies. Now, as we've seen the bullet bills in various places, it is worth noting that with the randomizer, they are currently not one of the enemies that can be randomized, so they are in their normal positions. As Oh Dear picks up the fire flower. And that shark is just giving him the business. But Oh Dear gets past it. And into the pipe. Another money bag for his trouble. So many money bags it would make the dude from Monopoly happy. And here we go on B's side. Because clearly jumping on a spaceship will win. Beast is going to pick up his second coin. Looks like Oh Dear now working on the same section that Beast was just a little bit ago. So I imagine for every runner, one of the hardest challenges has to be you're used to running a level in a certain manner, but then you don't get what you're used to. So be that a power-up or be that just the physics of the level, you throw a wrench like that in and it can completely change your game plan. So all these runners making it look easy. I know for somebody who, if I were picking this game up for the first time, I wouldn't have it quite that easy. But the fun of randomizers when you can make a classic new again. Oh Dear finds a star but doesn't pick it up. Unlike other Mario games, the star doesn't go running around the screen, it stays stationary till you pick it up. And a fire flower now for Beast. Of course, in the days of Game Boy, things are not quite as easy to see as they are in the full color of the NES, so Fire Flower noted with the feather. And Oh Dear is going to be picking up coin number 2. So you never quite know how routing will end up playing into a randomizer run. Sometimes you learn information that is valuable for you elsewhere, other times it just didn't really matter what order you took as long as you took one. But always you have to be decisive about which way you're going to go, as Mike Rome going to try and work his way up through a difficult gauntlet, but the Sharky says no. Tight spaces, always the challenge. The less time you have to react, the harder any obstacle is gonna get. Even those crazy little boos. They can always find ways to make your life difficult. Looks like Mike getting a little better pattern through the water this time. As Oh Dear reaches the end of that stage. Oh, I think that's the third time in a row that Mr. Sharky there has denied Mike. He's being a blocker today. And looks like we have Beast making even more progress. He's beast mode in this game. Picks up his third coin. And another denial by Mr. Sharky against Mike. It is just not going well through there. That is a tight space, not a lot of reaction time, so becomes a battle of anticipation and execution. And sometimes an enemy just unfortunately seems to have your number in a game. Yeah, I think we're definitely seeing Beast Mode on full display tonight. Thank you to all of us joining us here on Randomania. Happy to host a great action of Super Mario Land 2. These four runners doing battle tonight. Through booze, torpedoes, seas, and space, Mario tries to save the day. Mario in the hands of some very skilled runners, I should say. Ooh, the Sharks getting Malcolm on that day. Starting to think we need a shark counter on this. Apparently, the bad guys need to raise the pay of the Sharks. They're doing the MVP work today. So with power-ups randomized, you can't be guaranteed of getting anything, so if you lose it, a level could become that much harder. But Oh Dear has gotten through the gauntlet, and it's boss time. And Oh Dear gets past that, and that's going to be coin number 3. Dare I say the sharks seem to smell blood in the water tonight. Alright, Malcolm. Micro-Rome trying to get through that. No, by a nose! I don't know Mike, but I think I know what he's going to say about this seed afterwards. Alright, through that shark. Past the bullet bill. Those sharks have just really been public enemy number 1 tonight. Or Mario enemy number 1 tonight, I guess we should say. Or speedrunner enemy number 1 if you'd like. Always a nice sight to come through, running full speed, and hey, there's a boo in your face. But Oh Dear doing a very nice job avoiding them. And Beast has a hard time staying on the straight and narrow when you fall off a platform. So he will have to make his way through the level again. Hard enough when a platform's under you. When the platform goes disappearing on you, that's just a horse of a different color. Alright, what is Oh Dear gonna get? Looks like he gets a carrot for his trouble. He flies through the air with the greatest of ease. The daring old Mario with the bunny ears. I don't know where I was going with that one, but it died pretty quickly. Alright, Mike, back up to this shark challenge. Can't get his strokes in right order. He's got a little bit of lag when he starts to go up. He just doesn't seem to have his sync right with that shark tonight. When he got his opening on that run, I could definitely see that he wasn't in position for it. He was down too far to get through the gap. And he still had to get Mario's momentum moving up before he could even challenge the gap. And that's one of the hardest things to do whenever you're running a randomizer. Something's going wrong, and it can just really take you out of it when something seems to have your number, as unfortunately Mike has game over. And he goes right back for what was giving him the difficulty. absolutely agree with that routing decision. Rather than have it hold you up in progress. Oh, the shark again! This shark just does not... just has it in for Mike tonight. Now, Oh Dear using the bunny ears to get past the booze. Anything that helps you get past the booze is a good thing. Well, I asked the runners if there was one thing of note to watch out for tonight, and the one thing that was mentioned was a submarine level. And again, that little swim for Mike, it's just, he is not being able to find his timing on that trick. Looks to me like it's just a question of getting his timing right on swimming up, and he might be better served to wait a couple cycles to try and get synced up the right way so that he's got his momentum going up at the right time. Mario will not swim up instantly. You gotta get that first stroke or two before he'll actually move. And that seems to be Mike's undoing so far this evening. Hopefully he can get on the right track here soon. Oh Dear getting past the piranhas, and Malcolm working on the space battle. Because clearly all Mario needs to fight in space is a fishbowl on his head. Naturally. He's Mario. What more could he need? And looks like Beast Mode continues. Coin number 4 of 6 for Beast. Malcolm taking his time, but gets past this battle, and he's going to get coin number 2. Alright, here we go again for Mike. Again, the knife from the shark. By a nose. It's keeps getting Mike tonight. Beast in the Mario Zone with a Fire Flower. What more could you ask for? I guess you could ask for spikes not to kill you, but don't get greedy now. Tight spaces, going small to stay under the obstacles. That never feels right. It's like, you're Mario. You're used to having power-ups. That's part of the fun. Nope, gotta go small. But any tool that lets you do the job is the right tool. And another one cleared for Beast. Working on coin number 5 at this point. Beast has done a tremendous job tonight. This is the first of a double feature for these runners. They'll be going again shortly after we finish up this one. As Mike is able to clear a level, that has to feel rewarding at this point. Gotta avoid hidden saw blades. That's always a fun challenge. And here we go for Beast. Runner did mention that they were really hoping to have the Fire Flower for this fight. And Beast showing us exactly what a difference that makes. Hype music going again for Beast, and that is coin number 5. Turtle Zone now for Beast. So Mike had gotten some holdup because of the sharks earlier. Now he's able to be back in action, making some progress in the game. That has to feel like quite a relief. I think we have the tracker up to date on everybody's coins. I apologize if anything is behind. It's only my first time doing this game for a race, and throw tracking on top of that as well. For 4 runners. Different animal. And looks like Oh Dear should soon to be receiving his next coin. He does. Coin number 4 for Oh Dear. Malcolm doing a careful job to jump up without hitting the Goomba. Now back to small Mario. And able to pick up a fire flower. That has to feel nice. Just don't kill an enemy you need to jump on. But the damage boost strats to get through into the bell. Mike having a little bit of trouble getting to the belt on this level. Now he does. Bunch of great runners. Show the love for him if you would, please. You've got the links in the chat. If you're enjoying this action, clearly these are some great runners to check out. And coin hype for Mike. He picks up his first. That actually not his first of the entirety of this race, but because of the game over, lost his coins and has to start over. And looks like we've got calamari served on Beast's side, and that is coin number 6. He clears Turtle Zone. And now Malcolm doing battle, and is going to get his next coin. Well, you get so caught up in the hype of what one runner is doing, and then all of a sudden another runner clears boss. That is what happens when you get 4 good runners going at once. So because of this game, if there is a game over, you do get credit for the levels you beat, but you do have to refight the bosses to be able to pick up the golden coins. And now Oh Dear is working on the pig fight with his fire flower, and that's going to be coin hype for him. That's number 5. Malcolm working through space. And Mike Rome working through Home of the Booze. They don't keep it up very well. I hear the floor is really falling out of that place. And they haven't played the lighting bill in months. So we've got Beast in the top left, all 6 coins collected, using the rabbit ears to work his way through this dungeon. Falling Spike's getting his rabbit ears taken away. Another challenge cleared, so double it, of course. Oh, looks like a game over for Mike again. That's game over number 2, unfortunately. Well, I'm sure this is going to be just a nice, polite conversation on Beast's end. Or, you know, jump on his head because it's Mario. One or the other. Well, hey, OPT, just remember, if you put me in timeout, you're going to have to take over commentaries, so there's that. Good timing for Beast to get that hit in. Advancing through the challenges here. Getting his timing good on these jumps. Beast just making it look easy. Oh, look at that. He made the bad guy cry. You almost feel sorry for him if he wasn't trying to ruin your day. Classic Mario tradition. Let's change the flag over the castle. Of course, you could change the whole castle too. That's an option. And that is a dot done for Beast at 36 minutes and 37 seconds. Get your GGs out, chat, would you? Show the love. Put on a great clinic, great display tonight. And he gets to rest up for round 2. So these runners will go again tonight. And that looks to be coin number 6 for Oh Dear. Took Oh Dear a little longer to get started, but definitely has made progress since. GG to you, Beast.
Hello, thanks.
So talk us through your run a little bit there. What were your highlights?
Nothing special in Tree Zone, besides those 2 levels where you can choose. Both were pretty slow. You may have noticed because I quit out of both. And yeah, I got lucky in the space zone. Those levels can be hard, because especially with the level in the space zone. One thing that made me lose time was in Pumpkin Zone. I got the wrong exit in the second level because I didn't have the power up for the secret exit. So I decided to play the bonus level, and I wanted to grab the bell at the end so I can play the bonus game and grab the power up I need. But then, right before the bell, Deer talked to me, and that distracted me that I just forget to take the bell, so I wasted a lot of time playing that level.
Well, if there's one enemy we've seen claim more Mario lives than any other tonight, it's been the shark. Is that normally a tripping point, or was that just something special because of the space he was in tonight?
Yeah, that's definitely a tricky part with the sharks there. And I mean, we've been talking to each other, so we've heard that there have been problems there. And those 2 runners are, let's say, kind of new. Like, not insulting, but I wouldn't call them top tier runners right now. So they had some problems there.
Well, we all start somewhere, and sometimes you just have to face a
Yeah,
challenge before
exactly.
you're able to figure out the right way through it.
Yeah. And it is really tight there, especially when you want to keep a power up. Mario is twice as high, so it's even closer.
So the timing just seemed to be really synced up through the boss fight. Did you feel good all the way through there?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about my boss fights. Most have been with the right power up. Like the bird in the beginning, that was not really the right power up, but it was still a fast way with the carrot, just flying above its head. And I think, yeah, I basically had the power ups for the other bosses, like the fire flower for the red, the pigs, and the squid. So those were all speedrun strats, the quick kills.
So another race ahead, anything in particular you're looking forward to, or maybe hoping you don't see? Any highlights either way?
Uh, well, playing these randos, for me personally, it's actually more fun when they are hard and trolly. So I kind of hope for, let's say, a harder seed than this.
So if there's anything you wanted to say to somebody who might be considering picking up this rando, what would you suggest or say to them?
Definitely good luck. And especially because the secret exits are randomized, you may have look for them if you don't know the secret exits for the levels.
And we'll say GG to Oh Dear, who has just finished with a second place time of 41 minutes 16 seconds. He seemed to be clearing everything pretty well. He was a little slower than you to get the first coin, but after that seemed to move to pretty good progress.
Yeah, Diaz definitely top runner. I mean, he has all the records, world records for this game. And if you look on Speedruns Live, the scoreboard, we are almost tied with points on the first two places for this game, so it's almost a hard race against Dia.
So, what is the racing schedule like in this game? Do you tend to do nightlies, weeklies? What kind of pace is it for somebody who might be interested?
We are doing weeklies every Friday on 6 p.m. EST, and start with a glitchless race, just a normal game. And then afterwards we started doing randos after it got released. And now with restreaming on Randomania, we set it to 7 p.m. EST starting time to get a more solid schedule.
One of the great things about Randomania is the chance to see randomizers for games you might not be familiar with. So you get to see new and exciting things that might interest you for future gameplay. So hope everybody out there has followed Randomania already. If not, please do. Show the love, folks, and show the love to these runners who have done a terrific job tonight.
Yeah. Should I send Deer here or?
Absolutely. Anybody who wants to come talk, feel free. All right, so hopefully OD are able to join us shortly here. And Malkin able to get through this boss fight, and he gets coin number 4. 4 down, 2 to go. And into the Mario Zone. Not Twilight Zone, the Mario Zone. Although there might be some similarities on any given night. And unfortunately, looks like a death there for Malkin. Tight spaces can always make for interesting jumps. You can't necessarily get as much momentum as you like or feel comfortable with. And one of the classic traditions of Mario is that little differences affect how he jumps, and just not able to get that one. Fun fact about Mario, originally the Koopas were going to be the first enemy that you saw in World 1-1. But because it took 2 hits, they decided that they needed a new enemy that would only take 1 hit, and thus the Goomba was born. But just think, you were that close. The original plan for 1-1 of Mario Brothers was the Koopa. As Malcolm picks up the carrot just in time to finish the stage. Who needs all those coins? Malcolm moves down to the lower left part of the stage. And he finds the exit nice and quick. Looks like we get the big fight again, this time for Mike Rome, and he does have the Fire Flower to do battle with. Now on the third. And looks like that's a good level for Mike. He gets past the pigs and coin hype. So he picks up the 5th coin, but his first of this run.
No, because I was in the bonus level Pumpkin 2 then, and it had Moon Physics 2, so...
Yeah.
And then Pumpkin 3 was the moon level, so I thought you were in that level already when you asked.
The runners
Yeah,
are in
I know.
a voice
They are
chat,
being
so we're hearing them
You
off one of the
Sounded like
runners'
you did something
streams.
wrong. And I assumed that was
I
falling
lost the
down in
carrot.
the moon level.
No, I lost the carrot.
Alright, so OPT is trying to get his game audio. Appreciate OPT's efforts on the restream. Restreaming is always an interesting animal. I'm doing a good job of avoiding these bullet bills. Always gotta get your timing right with them. It seems so easy. Here's an enemy coming at a consistent speed. All you have to do is not get hit. But boy, those bullet bills can be irritating when they want to be. Oh dear, thank you for joining us, and GG on your run
Hello.
tonight.
Thank you. That was rough.
Looked like it was maybe a little bit rough to get started with. Beast got the first coin before you did, but seemed like reasonably steady progress after that.
Yeah, I think I took a wrong exit in Tree Zone, and I also took a few unnecessary deaths that set me back a little bit in the beginning. But overall, this seed was so trolly. Like, it was the first one you commentated, and maybe the first randomizer of this you've seen. But this was not typical. Like, so many very trolly levels where you have to have the right power up to advance to the next level by taking the right exit. This one was, in that regard, really, really hard. Or I was just really unlucky. One of the both.
Malkin has just picked up coin number 5. He had to do the pigs the hard way with no fire flower.
Yeah, that's always rough.
And I guess if I was going to say the MVP of the enemies today was the shark.
Oh,
he was
yes.
just patrolling his territory well.
That one shark. Luckily, there was a power-up before it, so you could at least abuse your iframes through the shark if you didn't make it past. Even with Big Mario, you can make it past, but the the window for that is pretty tight. But yeah, rough seed, like that level as well. You always want it to end quickly, so you always go for the secret exit first, because that is like half a minute faster if you make it through. But of course, it was the wrong exit this time.
So how long have you been running this randomizer?
The randomizer has been around for not even half a year, I want to say. And we only really started doing it regularly, like, I think 4 months ago. Not quite sure. It hasn't been a half a year yet. That's for certain.
Sure. So if there's anybody catching this either live tonight or maybe on YouTube later, is there anything you'd say to them if they're seeing this and they're interested and want to find out more?
I know a lot of people have played this game as a kid. I know that for certain. So if you want to relive it in a different way, then definitely pick up this randomizer. It's like you can pick it up on romhacking.net. It's an IPS file. You can patch your original ROM. If it is a 1.0 ROM, that's the important part. And then just have fun with the randomizer. There are different settings if you don't want to jump into the very hard settings that we are playing on, where like literally everything is randomized. You can like leave things out, like the wrong exits, for example. That is too annoying for you. Always leave that unchecked, so you know which exit you have to take to advance. But yeah, you're free to choose whatever difficulty you want. And this randomizer is still being developed, so you can just come back to it in a few weeks or months, and there will be new options, new things will be able to be randomized, and the fun never stops.
Well, it looks like they've done a great job with it so far, and it always helps when a randomizer has an active developer that is constantly dedicated to making it better.
Yeah.
And
Shoutouts
the more
to
support they
Slash
get from
Infinity.
a community, it always helps improve the quality.
Definitely. So how are the other two guys doing? And when do we have to X this one to start the next one?
I'll defer to OPT on any time limitations, as we've got Mike Rome now doing battle with our bird. He's got the carrot though, so should be in good shape for this one. He had a little bit of trouble and has taken 2 game overs so far.
Yeah.
Malkin, meanwhile, has got coin 5 and he's working on 6.
It's actually Mike's first randomizer ever. He has never played a randomizer before. So he's doing a good job for that. Especially on a seed like this. As I said, this one is not typical. They are not that hard usually.
So this hippo level, difficult the platforming is on this one.
Which one was the hippo level?
The one with the
remember.
bubble. I'm joking about flying over the level.
Funny.
That's what Mike is on right now.
Yeah, I mean, it can get tricky because of the enemy randomization. You can get sniped out of your bubble. And if you don't have a carrot, you are forced to choose the lower exit. And sometimes it's just difficult to tell when you have to go down to avoid enemies that are coming up to you. Because usually you have those birds that fly in a straight line, but they can be replaced with the flying fish that do the like sinus shape flight and are actually able to snipe you out of your bubble. It's not trivial in Randomizer, that level. Even though it is for the most time, but just have to pay attention. In general, lots of usually trivial levels that get way less trivial. For example, if some levels change from an auto-scroller to a non-auto-scroller, or the other way around, can make just a huge difference because you're not used to having to play it like that. The macro zone auto scroller, for example, is a pretty easy level, but once the auto scroller mechanic is disabled, you want to do it fast, and then you suddenly start jumping into pits and like taking easy deaths. I actually don't think we've seen that so far during the Randomania randos.
Alright, looks like Malcolm is now going to pick up coin number 6. And Mike is working on the level that gave him so much trouble tonight. The shark on here just really had his number.
Yeah, unfortunately I cannot pull up the other streams while I'm streaming. The connection is too bad, so to
Sure.
rely on your commentary
Yeah,
here
just
as
took
well.
another death there, unfortunately. It was to a different shark location, though. But those sharks have burned their pay tonight.
Definitely. Like, sometimes you have 2 sharks in that small corridor where you have to swim upwards. That's just the worst. Especially if you don't have a power-up to boost through at least one of them. Can always happen. But at least even though it led to the wrong exit, the gauntlet, like the secret exit to out of the submarine, was pretty humane this time. The enemy placement in there can be really, really bad. So I see it in the race channel. I guess you can see it on screen right now that Mike has forfeited this one.
Yeah, looks like he's had enough of this seed, but we should be able to stick with Malcolm here.
Again, it was Mike's first rando ever, so there's no shame in forfeiting when it's really not going your way.
Yeah, I do a lot of Final Fantasy 1 randomizer, and in my case, I think it took 4 or 5 seeds before I was able to complete one.
Yeah.
Just
That's
learning
how,
the game is part of it, even a
exactly.
game you know so well.
Exactly. You're just used to many strats that you rely on muscle memory and things like that, and you have to get used to thinking out of the box and just having a plan B ready every time.
Yeah, just something as simple as being used to one power-up for a specific section that you don't have anymore.
Yeah, it's true. Like, luckily I have some experience with small Mario only, so for most levels with normal physics and somewhat normal enemy placement, I don't have to rely on the power-up that much. But you still have to, like, you have to start thinking. Whereas you normally just cruise through levels and all of a sudden you have to be really on your toes.
Alright, another try through here for Malcolm. The damage boost strats made progress but didn't get him all the way through. Now he's trying to get through these piranha plants a little bit better. You know, you go along, you think everything's gonna be fine, and then here's a giant plant spitting a giant fireball in your face.
Yeah, there's conveniently the carrot right at the beginning of the castle.
Yeah, he used it, but unfortunately had to damage boost a couple of times, so he's already back to small Mario now.
That
Working
could be on
through the
purpose.
little clown car section.
Yeah. I'm not sure how familiar he is with the speedrun strat for that room, but you want to be small Mario in that room, actually. To go through it as quickly as possible. But in general, you kind of want to keep at least one power-up in the castle, because you don't know if you get the one right before that room with the flying faces. And you need one power-up to be able to spin jump, and spin jumping kills them in one jump instead of two. So if you're a small Mario and you have to jump on those guys twice, it can get tricky. You can die easily.
Well, he's got the carrot now, going through the spikes falling. So what is the proper name for these dudes, the faces?
I'm actually not sure if they have names. Would have
Okay.
to pull up the Mario wiki to have a look, but I'm not certain.
So Mike, I hear this was your first run of the Super Mario Land 2 randomizer.
That was my first one. First rando ever, actually.
Well, talk to us a little bit about the experience.
It was a fun one, man. I mean, till I got to the shark, honestly, for like 20 minutes. And
That shark was going for MVP tonight.
he got so many kills. He's probably 18-1. Once I got past him. If you saw right before I just forfeited. That shark, I got past him, got past that spike ball thing, and just died by another spike ball thing. Rando, I loved it.
Well, hey, there's you did a great job for your first effort. I know my first experiences with Randomizer didn't go as well as yours did, so if that makes you feel any better, take that.
I'm really glad I had a little experience with SML2 before I did it.
And Malcolm, that's a GG for him. At
Nice.
102.16, finishes in third place.
GG to him.
Definitely. Well, I will let you gentlemen get about making your next seed, because we got another race to do. Anything you're looking forward to or hoping for, Mike?
Less nonsense in this one.
That's a good call, yeah.
All right, good luck to you, sir. And to you as well, oh dear.
Thank you.
So, our runners will go about getting another room set up. I suppose theoretically I have to hit the reset button on the tracker here and get our coins reset and ready for the next run. Exciting race. A bit of a convincing win, but still in doubt till the very end. You had to do your job the whole way.